To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes Build Events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
This race still very undecided.
The bottom lane just doesn't have enough cars now. The rules have been reversed.
They're running out of time and they know it.
How about Noah Mikulski in the L3? He did his hand in this battle. The bottom surges to the inside. Now pulls even with Hutton off the turn number 2.
900 horsepower at their feet.
Banks doesn't have a push. Hutton, can he do it off of turn 4? Right, giving him another push. They stack him to the outside. At the line, checkered flag. Big surges to the bottom.
Well, here we are at the last great Colosseum. The Saturday Night Racing League is ready to square off at Bristol Motor Speedway for week number 9 of the schedule. Here tonight, I'm joined by Alec Martinez, Bradley Cooper live in the booth. Actually, let's get both of those up there. Yeah, co-commentator. I wasn't sure if he was going to show up or not. He said he was watching the truck race, but we're ready to bring you flag-to-flag coverage here on V-Speed. So a lot to unpack here, and if you look at this schedule, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're going to have an off week after Pocono, but we only have 4 more races after that off week, Alec, where we hit the chase, and these drivers know it.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it's good to be back with you, from my point out. But man, it's good to be back here on Saturday nights. I know this league's been very competitive, and obviously, like you said, Pocono next week's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to actually competing in that one. But yeah, no, the points, and like you said, you're getting down to the nitty gritty of this schedule. After Pocono, you got 4 drastically different racetracks, and man, look at these points. Alex Bell, 2 points over Noah Mikulski and Joseph McWhorter, man, and then Jeff Wright, 21 points back. Ray Massey, one of the winners that won in the thrilling finish in Chicagoland, not too far back in 22, all within a race points here. And man, when we're talking to the end of this season, you got to be careful. You got to start thinking points racing here, and if you want to make this chase. And I tell you what, tonight, Bristol, we know it's chaotic. We know what can happen. And tonight, I would not be surprised to see one of these guys in the top 5 have issues and could drop them down to the points.
So we're gridding up right now. We just got done with qualifying. We're going to take an extra few pace laps, but right now we can confirm your pole sitter is going to be the number 60. And Jacob Bradley, I don't know if you caught any of the racing here.
He's been fast
SNR.
from what I've seen.
He's been excellent. And those off weeks with Jeff Wright, we still had a Lowe's machine up towards the front, even though Jeff Wright wasn't here.
Yeah, that 60 car was able to compete against him at Dover, man. He was fast, and I remember it's tough to get by. And you get up here at Bristol, track position is going to mean a lot. Tire saving is going to mean a lot here. I think the bottom, you're going to see guys go on the bottom, try to save some tire, and then when you want to make passes, when you want to be aggressive, you're going to want to go up and use that top. And while we have it here, Jacob Bradley with a 14.865 on the pole. Jeff Wright going to be right to his outside. Then behind him in row 2, Chad Klinger, Reggie Ortega. And then behind them, you got Michael Sturgill and Lucas Lyons there in the top 6. Then it's defending Bristol winner Joshua Banks starting 7th. Bailey Turner going to roll off 8th. And then rounding out the top 10 in 9th, Jonathan Cofield and Alex Bell, the points leader, in 10th.
Ryan Carlisle is going to start in the 11th position with Sam Brochu in 12th position. 13th, Joseph McWhorter, 3rd in points. Michael Kostick's going to start 14th. 15th, Jerry Bergeron with Johnny Rapp in 16th position. Angelo Horonis is going to be 17th, Bryce Shoemaker in 18th, and rounding out your top 20 tonight, Jonathan Smith and Max Cost.
And then behind them in row number 11, you're going to have Casey Lakatis, and then Keith Shoemaker going to be rolling off in 22nd. Then Noah Mikulski in 23rd, with Bobby Patricia going to be rolling off in 24th. Edwin Mendez going to be rolling off 25th. Chuck Sweeting in 26th. Then 27th is going to be the 5 of Mark McFadden, Brandon Wallace to his outside. Then rounding out the field here, actually there's still just 3 more cars with Kyle Peacock in the 83. Then Brian Hennings in the 74 in 29th and 30th. And rounding out the field here tonight is Carson Marenka there in the 05 here. So 31 cars tonight at Bristol. I would have to think that lap traffic will come into play, and we're talking about defending winner Joshua Banks. Pull him up in just a second, but man, this track, Bristol, Tennessee, only a half a mile, like you said, the last great Colosseum. Man, it's unique, it's fast, it's on concrete. Bradley, I expect a lot of moving around, and hopefully some good racing and some close quarters contact racing.
Yeah, and here's the race analysis. 200 laps. That'll put us at the 100 mark. But when you're looking at mileage, the tire sets available, this concrete surface, very abrasive. It's gonna peel them off.
It is, and yeah, that's gonna be a big thing, is tire management. And if there's any guy who knows how to manage tires, it's got to be the defending winner Joshua Banks. I think we got a couple laps to green here, so while we're rolling and pacing here, and while we pull up the old defending winner of Joshua.
Let's wait here, because I think we're about to go.
We are going green. Yeah, I was gonna say we're going green. So, never mind. We won't, but we'll pull them in at some point. Bradley, man, this is gonna be a good one.
I'm excited to bring it to you live from Bristol, Tennessee. The Saturday Night Racing League is live for race number 9.
Machine's going to go side by side for the lead. The 48 and the 60 right, going to power by on the outside, led the first lap. And the pole sitter is going to fall back to second. Then some jostling around for position. You got the third place car of Chad Klinger getting by Ortega. And then it's a side-by-side battle for 5th between Sturgill and I believe the 11 of Lucas Lyons.
How about there on the outside? That Lyons working the outside line. Very tough to do here. And you'll see these cars kind of migrate towards that upper line as this track rubbers in. You're going to see the bottom groove really turn dark, and once this track rubbers up, it's going to be a matter of finding grip, and you only have so many lanes. You got about 35 feet to find it.
Yeah, and there's not that. It looks wide, but it's not very wide. You can see Banks shoots down at the bottom, clearing Sturgill, and getting underneath Reggie Ortega. But you're going to see most of these guys trying to get back on that bottom lane, save some tire. You can't see it, but yes, there is a grip strip down there that replicates the PJ1/resin, if you so will. Oh, there's contact between Banks and Ortega, but yeah, there is resin down there, and it does help grip up the cars, and it will take a while for that top lane to come in, but once the tires start wearing, you will start seeing guys move up that outside, although the outside lane is the preferred line because of the grip it has. It does burn off tires more, so that's going to be something to look out for here as we're on board with Michael Sturgill using that outside lane, carrying that momentum to get by the 35 of Banks.
And the defending Bristol champion falls back to 7th position, started up in this top 5. But I tell you, well, actually, he started back in 7th, but I tell you what, these guys, especially the ones that have won this race, they never seem to start on the pole. And, you know, Jeff Wright, he's up on the front row. It seems like the challengers, they start to show up in the later, maybe like 50 laps of this race.
Yeah, and there'll be comers and goers, and that's the great thing about the Saturday Night Racing League is that there's always comers and goers. There's just good racing, good drivers all around. And sometimes you got guys starting mid-pack, sometimes 15th, 16th. It takes them all race to really get up there, and then they'll start making moves. Speaking of making moves, how about Lucas Lyons in the 11 car going to go to the inside of Klinger, going to get really loose underneath them, getting all that side force taken away. He'll save it, but falls back to the clutches of the 2 and the 3 of Ortega and Sturgill. But yeah, big moment, big save out of Lucas Lyons. But yeah, you know, this track, it eats tires, but man, it's so fast. These laps click by so fast. Even if you start mid-pack, it takes a little bit of time because you want a long run. If you could save tires to kind of work your way up through the field, and it sometimes takes 100, 150 laps.
Speaking of drivers that are working their way up through the field, Casey Laconis is up 6 positions to the 15th spot already, and we're only 13 laps into this race, so he probably feels like he's passed 1,000 cars already. We compared it to a washing machine with shoes inside of it. Alec, I don't know if that's a good analogy or not.
It's a good way to put it. Hey, the shoes, the rubber underneath, right? I think that helps.
Yeah.
And
side by
honestly,
side
it
with
really
the
is.
points leader up ahead, actually. Alex Bell inside. He was just about to pass Bailey Turner.
And yeah, Bell, you can talk about him. He's had, Lucas Lyons been making big moves. We have some pace in that 11 car, but yeah, Bell doing a good job right here. Kind of sitting in line, waiting. No point in pushing it too early. As I say that, he's trying to make a move on Bailey Turner, but you know, he's got a 2-point lead. That's not a lot if you really think about it, but a little bit over Mikulski, and right now he's ahead of Mikulski, who's running 22nd at the moment.
Oh, hey, I gotta let you know, Alec, it's Mahalski. It's Mahalski. We've been butchering that for the last 3 years. Yeah, he waited until like maybe 2 weeks ago to tell me that. So
you gotta be kidding me. I wish he would have told me that.
Yeah,
but
me
Mahalski,
too.
excuse me. Yeah, I apologize to him for calling him Mikulski this entire time, but hey, he's always been running up at the front. Man, he's improved so much, and I think we remember from the BTDY days when he was a rookie. It took him a while, and he was good in this Xfinity car, and I remember the standout race he had. It was this exact paint scheme. Was at Texas Motor Speedway, where he battled a couple guys, was running the top 5 all day. I just think he just has a little bit of a liking to this car. He seems to really do much better in this car. The car behind him got really loose. I think it's Brandon Wallace really loose there.
Yeah, he was trying to peek to the inside.
I think underneath of him.
Wrap got to the inside there at the last second, and they're able to keep it together, and that's another thing we can kind of look forward to here tonight. You think about Bristol, and you think about how close quarters it is. Not for this leader right now. 0.6 of a second Jeff Wright has pulled out over Jacob Bradley. Lucas Lyons is about a second back. This top 3 is really spread out.
It really is, and the top 3 is kind of starting to slowly but surely kind of pull away from the cars that are behind them, and I think Bradley and Wright seem to be, to me right now, the class of the field, but also because of how good their pace is, they are running up on the back half of this field.
You see the 35 of Joshua Banks looks back to the inside. I think he's been trying to pass Reggie Ortega now for about 10 laps,
and Ortega's been trying to get by Klinger, who's kind of fallen back to the clutches of these cars. And you tell you what, Lucas Lyons has some pace in that 11, had to work for a couple laps to get around Klinger, but finally did it. And Bradley's starting to fall back to him as well. But, I mean, look at this. Joshua Banks is moving and grooving right now. That 35 car starting to have some pace, although it's going to be stranded on that bottom. It's going to need to save those tires because this long run, and I know no stages in SNR, it always makes you think here, how long of a run can you get? I'd have to think at least 185 to 100 laps is what you were going to want to be on the ideal tire strategy.
Well, it's good to see Michael Sturgill back out on the racetrack. That 3 car had a lot of success there last week, and kind of the off weeks that Jeff Wright wasn't here, Sturgill made a little resurgence to Saturday Night Racing. Yeah, they're getting tight up here, and I'll tell you what, Reggie Ortega, He's not cutting Joshua Banks any slack. Every time he makes a move to the inside, he's making him second guessing.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, I don't know if we have the driver cams, but Klinger gets loose.
Oh, contact.
Klinger got hit by Banks, and they just seem to keep going. This Xfinity car's composite body keep going, but oh man, just tight on the bottom there, and everybody acting like it never, even though it happened a lap ago, like nothing else happened. These cars keep, they take a look, keep on ticking right now.
O'Neill with Chad Klinger, he's not looking like he has the pace anymore. Ortega goes to the outside. Somebody's going to get around this and split into the top 4.
Yeah, no, he's really just kind of, he's working for it, but it's just right now kind of struggling. It's just so hard with the momentum that the top carries that to really make a move unless you have significantly better tires. And right now, Klinger, man, he just starting to lose pace in that 09.
He falls back to the 5th position. He started up in the top 3. So now the 35 of Banks, a good move there. I think that was clean. It was good. Ortega got around him. Now Banks gets around him. There goes Sturgill on by 09. Looking like a struggle here as they're about halfway through the run.
Yeah, this 09 is on the struggle bus series. He's close up here with Bailey Turner in the 24, and right now just struggling in the pace. I don't know if he's hardcore saving or not, but man, right now it just looks like he's struggling on pace. Doesn't have the rear security that everybody else has. He seems to be struggling on the exit of the corners, being able to keep on the gas. And right now, Lucas Lyons is falling back to Reggie Ortega right now. Now we're about to have 4 or 5 cars under a blanket for 3rd place, and on board with Klinger, man. Alex Bella now starting to work on him here, and then you got Sam Brochu there in the 18 car, not too far behind them as well, and even the 58 of Cofield.
So you see this 3rd place through about 7th position. You can probably put Bailey Turner as a pass to the inside here for Alex Bell. He had the nose. He has the points lead coming into today. But quite a few of these drivers, that was the 18 of Brochu on the inside. Now the 15 of Bell drives to the inside. Here they come across the start-finish line.
Alex Bell almost got himself turned there off turn number 2. I tell you what, here comes Ortega to the inside of Lyons, but Bell going to get to Banks going to get to the outside of him, and now Ortega's going to be kind of getting trained here because the 11 car of Lyons is holding them up a little bit, and look at how many cars are behind Lyons. Oh, Sturgill clips the wall. Banks gets into the back of Lyons, and right now the 11 car is really starting to stack up everybody, and Banks seems to have a little bit of pace as contact between the 2 of Ortega and the 3 of Sturgill. And Lyons holds on to 3rd, but Banks going to be breathing down his neck for the next few laps. And Bailey Turner inserting himself into the fight as Ortega tries to get up, can't do it. Turner's there, and here comes Banks to the inside of Lyons.
I think there was a little contact there between the 2 of Ortega and Bailey Turner in the 24. He came into that corner a little bit loose. Here. So that's tight.
Oh, it's really tight. And Banks getting that close to the left side of Lyons is going to get him really loose on the entry and then tight on exit with all that air coming out the side. But Lyons doing a really good job of kind of being a moving roadblock, if you so will. And right now, Banks is starting to use it up. Yeah, and he does use it up. Banks going to finally get to the inside, and he'll clear the 11 of Lyons. And now Sturgill going to be on the inside. We got trouble down the backstretch. The 1 car of Gary Bergeron is around, and I believe the 31 of, there's another car stranded as well. Is that?
That's Max Cost.
Max Cost in the 63, heavy damage.
Yeah, I think the 63 is going to be done for the day.
Yeah, there's smoke coming out of that car. I think that one's going to be night over. Yeah, Bergeron missing the front end. Cost is going to have to just get off of the racetrack there, unfortunately. He's stuck and finally gets it down. But yeah, first caution of the evening after 40 laps. Look what happened there. Is Johnny Rapp, 52, Chuck Sweeting in the 75.
Don't tell me Chuck Sweeting's involved in this. That guy's had the worst luck of anybody in this league.
He might have just scooted by here if we're looking at it here. I think Bergeron just seems to be struggling with handling right there. And then I think it's going to be a classic case of, it just gets into the right rear. Cost spins him around, and Brandon Wallace gets a piece of it as well. Kyle Peacock going to be the lucky dog, but now the whole field's going to bring it down pit road, and we'll take one more look here at what happened to the 63 of Max Costa and the 1 of Gary Bergeron in the number 1 car, and just, yeah, clips him there down the front stretch. Nowhere really for Max Costa to go, and then Brandon Wallace just was in. Look at Jeff Wright and Jake Bradley just getting by there.
Yeah, I mean, you're skating by when the pack is getting that close, so you got to lap traffic essentially right in front of you. Down and away there. Ooh. Jeff Wright wins the race off of pit road. There's the 35 of Banks.
Forcio Ortega did not have a good pit stop. They're going to lose 1 or 2 positions there. Oh, no, never mind. He's going to gain about 1. But yeah, that looked like he lost 1 or 2 to Sam Brochu. He definitely lost 1 to Klinger, Sturgill, and Turner. And Bailey Turner, good pit stop there from the 24 crew. Going to get up to the top 5. And man, oh man, what racing we've been seeing here. That was a great opening 40 laps of racing. And I thought we now pull up old Joshua Banks here to the booth and see what's on his mind. Joshua Banks, Alex Martinez, Bradley Cooper in the VCB booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you, buddy.
Well, man, you won the last race here. I know it was in the Gen 4 cars, but you still won it. You look like you got good pace on the long run here. Do you think you have anything for those 2 Lowe's machines up ahead of you?
We're going to wait and see, man. It's tough to pass. The way this car is, the way the track's laid out right now, it's all top driven. So bottom, I like to run the bottom, but everybody's been moving to the top. So it's just hard to, maintain a position running the bottom, but hard to pass trying to run the bottom. So we'll just see how the race goes. Hopefully we can, maintain where we're at, get a good run, and hopefully get around the leaders.
I don't normally interrupt when we're doing these interviews, but I got to ask Josh, where's the camera? Where's it been?
I need to get. I was thinking about putting it on, man. I apologize. It's been a rough day. So maybe next week.
Hey, a win will make this day better. I can tell you that.
A win will do it. How about that?
All right. Well, we appreciate your time, Josh. Good luck here, and go get him.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
That's Joshua Banks, the driver running in third in that 35. Beautiful 35 silver and black Chevy Camaros into the Geico restart zone here. Green flag is out. We're back underway, and Jeff Wright gets away, but Bradley and Lyons going to be battling side by side here for second with Banks right there with them.
It's already a 3-way battle for the second position. Little check
Lyons
up
got
there.
The wall. If you're Banks, you got to get back up, because we know the long run pace that the 11 had was not great, but Lyons fights back on the outside. Behind them, it's Turner, then Sturgill battling side by side with Reggie Ortega, and then how about the 58 of Jonathan Cofield going around the outside of Klinger. Banks gets behind Lyons, and Lyons starting to struggle just a little bit, but I'll tell you what, that 58 had a great restart. Cofield, Lyons gets hit! Lyons gets hit from Banks, they save it, no they don't! Ortega slides to the inside wall, and the caution comes out! And contact, I don't know if it was contact between Banks and Lyons. Lyons halfway spinning, and then everybody trying to avoid the 11. The 2 gets tagged and spun around. The second caution of the evening comes out. Reading cautions early in this race. And a little classic Bristol racing, Rubbins racing, but everybody's track position meaning so much. Banks clips to the 11, and then Klinger gets into the 2, and the 2 spins into the inside wall.
Had that not happened, I think it would have stayed green. The 11 would have lost a ton of time there, but that would have stayed green.
Yeah, the 11 just seems to be struggling a little bit on pace. And right there, Banks just slid up, lost all the side force on the right front, got tight underneath of him, and then got into this left rear. On board with him here. See the 35 just kind of drifts up the racetrack, gets into him. I think even Sturgill got a piece of it as well. And the 2 sliding to the inside. And unfortunately, Lyons just brought it down pit lane, and so has Ortega and a couple others. So unfortunate there for a couple cars running inside the top 10. Some even in the top 5.
Well, we're trying to make a fan out of Mrs. Cooper here.
Miss Cooper.
She's
And how's she
watching
doing?
it. Yeah, she's doing great. She's on standby, watching from the background. But I mean, 53 laps at Bristol. If that doesn't convince you that this is fun to watch, I don't know what will.
I mean, how can you hate on the last great Colosseum? This track is amazing.
I think seeing it in person's the best, but
I
the
agree.
virtual one is still very
Pretty good.
admirable. I've enjoyed every single lap so far. We're 53 laps into the 200 lap race, and Jeff Wright has led every single one of them. Is it any surprise he picks up right where he left off? Took that little 2-week hiatus, allowed some of these drivers to take over the points lead, but here tonight, he's on a vengeance. He's on a tear.
Are you kidding me? The field got those 2 weeks. No Jeff Wright. The field blew a sigh of relief.
Yeah.
Having those 2 weeks, but now it's got this guy in here, the defending champion. I mean, it's, really tough. It's, this guy, he's so good in this car. This car fits his style, and man, he's going to be. I mean, every week we know, week in and week out, he's tough to beat, and yeah, I mean, this guy just can win on any track, super speedway, short track, road course, and I mean, this guy, he just knows every bit about this race, or about this car, and really any racetrack. He's just diverse in his craft, and I think that's what's so amazing about Jeff Wright, and really in any car he steps in, this guy can win a championship, and that's just what's always awesome to watching Jeff Wright race. And man, Bristol, such an awesome racetrack. I love this track. Truck race today, man. Banger truck race, and congrats to Christian Eckes on beating Kyle Busch today. It was pretty exciting to watch, and man, Bristol's it's just one of those racetracks, man. And I haven't got to go. I know you were talking about it. You haven't, that you've been there, and this track's just so iconic, and man, the scenery around it, it's just one of the best.
It's an entirely different. It's an entirely different thing when you come to this racetrack and you see the outside. It's not tailgating on the infield. It's tailgating everywhere. It's outside the parking lot. It's like a football stadium.
It really is. And into the restart zone we go. Green flag back out. And how about that? Look at that. Look who's up to second. Bailey Turner with a blinding restart. And look at Wright going to get to the lead still. But Turner and Bradley going to make a little contact off of 2.
Loose here for Bradley.
You heard him have to get out of the gas, heard the back tire sliding, and Bradley loses another position to Banks. And 2 of the short track aces we normally talk about being up at the front, Bailey Turner and Joshua Banks inside the top 3. And I'll tell you what, it is getting dicey behind them. From 6th on back, you got Klinger in 5th. Then Sturgill, how about Joseph McWhorter working his way up to the field. Then the 18 of Brochu, Bell, the points leader in there as well. Cars all under a blanket. Look at where they're all running up on that wall.
How much lane left to take here for the outside line, right up on the marbles. And a car off the racetrack. Not sure. I think it was Cofield.
Is that Cofield that got loose there off of 2?
Drops down out of the way, and they stay green. But from about 5th position on back, it's a hornet's nest.
It is. Oh, yes. Cofield had a big moment there off of 2 and saved a great save by him. Mahalski just going to get by him as well. But, man, great racing here. The top 5 starting to kind of scoot away. Top 4, excuse me. And then about the 18 car going to get really loose under the bottom. Brochu with a big save there. And now they're 3 wide with Sturgill and Ronis. He gets by. Bell gets the 3-for-1 special. Moves up into 7th. And now Ronis cracks into the top 10.
Everybody getting loose, and there's the 09 of Klinger.
Klinger, and there goes McWhorter around as well. And another caution going to come out, and McWhorter missing the rear clip, and as well as Chad Klinger, both missing the rear bumpers of their race cars. And another caution comes out, and Klinger getting turned around, and nowhere for McWhorter to go.
Yeah, I think Klinger getting loose already.
I don't know if Alex Bell got a piece of that too.
We see here on the exit of 2.
Klinger gets loose. McWhorter had a big run, gets into him, and then I think Bell got into the back of the 73 of McWhorter, and both of them started. Well, McWhorter was going to be fine until the back end kind of spun back around into the inside wall, and then it ripped the rear bumper cover off. And now Jeff Wright, look like he was pitting to stay out, but McWhorter just really nowhere to go as the 09 gets loose and then gets
I
to
want
the
to ride on
outside.
board with the 15 of Bell.
And see if he got a damage. I think he might have got a little bit of it, but nothing too
Was
crazy.
18 getting loose? Everybody's getting sideways
Really
here.
was on the bottom.
Yeah.
Jeff Wright, really the only car running on the bottom, and he's leading this thing. But see here, going into turn number 1, Bell on the bottom, and Klinger gets loose right center of the corner. The 73 gets into him. Nope.
Yeah, he got a little piece
I
of
don't
it.
think he has too much, but he has a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely got a piece of it, though.
Yeah, I think he's fine. Bristol, we talk about Bristol. Even though it's fast, aerodynamics tend to not be too much of a factor here at Bristol. If you get enough damage, yes, but usually not too crazy when it comes to aerodynamic damage. And man, Jeff Wright, he's led every lap in this race so far.
That's
We think we should
I
pull him
would
in?
say it is yeah, pull him up. I mean, I would say it's an accomplishment, but the more I watch here on V-Speed, the more I'm not surprised.
Yeah, we'll give him a hoot and a holler. Let me see if I can pull him up real quick. And I lost him. Oh, there we go. There's Jeff Wright. Jeff Wright. Sorry to interrupt you.
Hey, you're all good, man.
You got a copy. Sorry to interrupt you, man. You've led
Got a
every single
copy.
lap in this race, brother. How is this track feeling, or how's this car feeling in the clean air?
Yeah, car's feeling great in the clean air. Obviously, you got to try to keep that track position here. I was looking at maybe potentially pitting there, but just because we would be so close to the pit window to be able to make it. But looked in my mirror and didn't see anybody else following me, Alex, so we jumped back on track. But yeah, car's handling good. Track temp's up there, so it's a little bit slick, but I think that makes for some good racing.
It really does. Now, I want to ask you, if we keep going and getting these quick cautions after 10, 15 laps, do we expect to have this race get shuffled up when it comes to track position and stuff?
Yeah, it definitely will. I know some guys pit that last caution there, so if we get another timely caution in 5-10 laps, you probably see those guys stay out, and it could really shuffle up the field. But the goal here is to try to keep the track position, because even if you go back there and you got some tires and have an advantage, it can be really hard to pass here and go back in that chaos. So we're gonna try to keep it up front all day long if we can, Alec, and see if we can't get a win.
All right, well, we appreciate your time, man. Go get him, keep it clean, and see if you can get the yellow hat trick.
Appreciate it, man.
And that's Jeff Wright, the points leader. The pace truck pulls off into pit lane. It's the race leader, as into the restart zone we go. Green flag, back out of the air, and Wright gets away, but it's a battle for second between Banks and Turner, and Banks barely going to get ahead. No, he won't. Here comes Turner rallying on the outside. Now Jacob Bradley going to get to the outside of the 35, although the 35 is going to have to come up and fill that hole. He does. Gets in front of Bradley, and here comes Bell to the inside in fifth, battling with Sturgill. And how about the points leader of Alex Bell, to the inside?
He's like one of the few cars down there right now. Everybody electing to take the outside, and for good measure, you can see that outside line just a little bit faster on the exits of these corners. Bell,
Oh, man.
I mean, he's staying side by side. You saw the 35 there of Banks peek to the inside for a moment. Now another peek here by Turner. It just doesn't look like that inside's working.
It does make me wonder. We talked about the dynamic track update that happened a couple months ago. With everybody really running on the outside, maybe it's slicking up that outside lane and really heating it up to where the cars tend to be, so you're going to slick the bottom. Bell, big moment, saves it. Great save out of the 15. But maybe if once we get a lot of cars running on this outside, that bottom lane cools off. Maybe it just becomes a little bit better to run, especially with everybody putting heat and rubber on that top lane.
I mean,
It's just a theory. I don't know if that's true
you
or
can
not.
take all the factors into this dynamic track, but I don't think we quite have it figured out yet. I mean,
Yeah, it's
I
not
think
what it
that
should be.
It's changed, and I'm glad they brought it back, but at the same aspect, you're seeing some cars, like, there's nobody down there on the bottom right now, and it wasn't that bad at the start of this race, but now they can't even afford to hold on to it down there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's maybe because it's too cold why we're seeing guys get so loose. There's Brochu, big moment underneath Bell. Bell retakes the position. Only two Toyotas running inside the top 10. Well, there's four Toyotas. They're the top two Toyotas right now, because I want to give a shout out to Edwin Mendez in the 46, who's worked himself up into 9th, and then the 50 of Casey Lakatis, who's worked into the top 10. Mendez and Lakatis, really, really good racing. That, oh man, the 46 really loose underneath the 50, but yes, the 4 Toyotas in the top 10, but man, Mendez and there's another Toyota right there with Angelo Ronis, all creeping up here inside the top 10, but Mendez running the bottom, Ronis running the top, almost gets in him, squeezes the 29, almost into the wall, and Ryan Carwile up there in the side of the top 10, right in front of Casey Lacanis.
So lap 78 ticks on by, and they're ticking away fast. It's been a really quick race here at Bristol. You'd say 200 laps. If you think about that anywhere else, you're thinking, well, we'll see you after midnight. But here at Bristol, they go quick. 79, now 80 as they come around 3 and 4.
It is, and man, we're almost coming up to 20 laps away from halfway, and notice the 24 and the 48 going to be all the way on the bottom, and now it makes you think if a caution comes out, we'll probably see everybody bring it down pit road, but the question is how much are these tires wearing here at Bristol? They seem to be wearing a little bit. Jeff Wright's best lap was a 14.86 set on lap number 10, and Bailey Turner's best lap was a 15.1 set on lap 11, and currently right now Jeff Wright turned a 15.5, and that he's about a 0.7 of a second off. And right now the top 3 is, man, I love these little graphics here we got here, and the top 3 only within a couple tenths, about only a half a second separating these top 3, and then about a full second back to Bradley and Sturgill in the top 5. So the top 5 not too far from each other, but Sturgill under fire here from, how about the 18 of Sam Brochu?
I've seen the 18 get loose several times here. He's starting to change his lineup a little bit, starting to dime in the corners a little bit more. All the way actually wrapped around the bottom that time by. He's pushing that car for all it's worth and changing it up back and forth, trying to find that grip. I think you're onto something here with the dynamic track.
Yeah, just, everybody running up top, it makes you wonder if it's overheating that outside line, then the bottom cools off, so it becomes another option of a lane you want to go down to because it's cooler, because it seems like you have more grip, especially with a cooler racetrack. So it just depends here. Right now, the top lane has so much momentum. It just seems to be, that's why it's the dominant lane. And to be honest with you, I haven't really seen Sam Brochu in many of the V-Speed broadcasts, but man, he's really making an impression. Oh, we got trouble down the front stretch. It's Chuck Sweeting as he gets nailed across the front stretch. I'm not sure who that was hit him. Was it Mahalski? Mahalski, heavy damage to the 03 is what involved, and Chuck Sweeting's night gonna probably be over as a hard hit.
And the luck continues for the 75.
Oh my goodness. Lucas Lyons just killed a couple cars. I think he just blinked out, and Joshua Banks just got nailed. As there's a caution coming out with Chuck Sweeting and Noah Mahalski, but Lucas Lyons blinked out, and I believe he nailed Joshua Banks. Look at this. Lyons blinked out and he nailed Joshua Banks, and Banks is destroyed on the back bumper.
Yeah, iRacing needs to do something about this. It's been happening way too much. This is, I mean, you got cars disappearing on your screen, you don't see anyone, and then you drive around the racetrack. Shouldn't be up to the driver. This should be on iRacing.
I think the first thing, if you blink out, everybody blinks off your screen. Number one,
stop.
Don't full throttle it. But still, I mean, yes, I think you're right on the iRacing issue. But number one, I don't think we should full throttle it when everybody blinks. But I think he should have just. I mean, he's really. I mean, it's a hard situation to really do, but it's tough there for. That's just tough there for Joshua Banks, who running top three. We'll see those pit stops are happening, and unfortunately for Chuck Sweeting, what a stop from the 24 crew. Bailey Turner with a heck of a pit stop, but oh man, right, just got him there at the line. And then there's Bradley going to get third, and Banks lost a couple spots there and fourth. And I just wonder how bad the damage on the 35 is. We talk about, you know, aerodynamics not mattering too much, but wow. And how about the 18 crew of Sam Brochu has moved up? Will be in the top five here once, I mean, the top three, I think, have stayed out with Johnny Rapp, Bryce Shoemaker, and Keith Shoemaker up in the top three. I don't know if they're going to pit or stay out. I think they still have another lap to decide, but Yeah, wow, what a wild turn of events. And nope, they're staying out. So Rapp, Shoemaker, and both the Shoemakers will be staying out here. And oh boy, is this going to change up the complexion of this race. And this restart is going to be wild with cars on 46 lap old tires.
I was getting a good look there. The damage, it looks like pretty much the entire back end is caved. 2 cars off the racetrack. Chuck Sweeting has parked it for the night. Max Cost also out. We still have 28 cars. Jerry Bergeron, who is 11 laps down. Lucas Lyons now 3 laps down. Reggie Ortega would be the first car a lap down for the lucky dog position as we get double back up. We got Johnny Rapp, Bryce Shoemaker, Keith Shoemaker, Jeff Wright, Bailey Turner, the top 5. As we get set to go back green at this halfway point.
Boys, ladies and gentlemen, buckle up for this one. This is about to be
old tires versus new
about
tires.
To be one of them restarts right now. I'll tell you what.
And 47 laps on the stint for here for Johnny Rapp.
Yeah, this is going to get really, really, really jam-packed, and it could get ugly really, really quick here. As Rapp and Bryce Shoemaker on the outside in the 43. Here they go into the Geico restart zone. Rapp is off and away. Shoemaker does not get a good restart. Turner goes up to the middle. They're 4 wide. They make contact. Rankin sends them into the outside wall. And Jeff Wright missing a bumper. No, it reappears, but the dominant car of the day gets shuffled on the outside wall, and they're still scattering all over the racetrack. Rapp holds on to the lead. The Shoemaker boys get loose, and Turner has to hold on in the line as Keith Shoemaker goes around for the lead. Rapp falling off, and here comes Turner and Banks. Turner dives it down to the inside underneath Shoemaker, and here comes Banks, closing up, and Shoemaker hits the wall. And Shoemaker got up into the wall, and oh, there's trouble down the front stretch. Mark McFadden is around. Bobby Patricia is around as well. And the caution comes out after a hectic restart. And another caution, and boy, what a hectic couple of laps. And unfortunately, Jeff Wright got up into the wall. Doesn't have too much damage, but man, the track position going to be lost here, to especially the 24 and the 35.
Let's go back and watch this restart first. I think that's where we need to be watching. The 48.
Starts with the 43, doesn't really go. The 53 goes, the 48, or 43 was really caught sleeping there. 31 doesn't go, and then you're about 4 wide situation here. Contact, and then Bradley gets into the back end of Wright, shuffles him up into the outside wall. And unfortunately, he loses 2 or 3 spots, and even Carwell kind of fell back here. And then you got the 28 of Patricia, and then you had the 5 of Mark McFadden racing back here. And McFadden a couple laps down, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, no, they're both in the lead lap. He was 3 laps down at a certain point. But, yeah, right here, this seems like 82 and the 5 just kind of meet in a bad spot there, and the 82 gets the wall pretty decent.
Well,
5 was too
tap
happy.
there with let him know. Yeah, it's Bobby Patrica and
excuse me, yeah.
Mark
I felt like I was
McFadden.
pronouncing his name right. Wrong. Yeah, Patrica, I don't think they have too much damage. It's definitely got a little bit, but how about Joshua Banks? Although I don't know how much that back end damage is going to affect. It's going to affect the looseness of that car, that's for sure.
Yeah, it most likely will, but here we are sitting at the halfway point. We've enjoyed 97 laps out of 200 here today at Bristol Motor Speedway, and we're going to bring you the remaining half of this race live here on V-Speed Saturday Night Racing League week number 9. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back live right after this.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, We can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to
Back here live from Bristol Motor Speedway, the restart at lap 99, and we're in a vortex. Riding on board, a little looseness back there for the 35, but riding on the back end of the 24 of Bailey Turner, who took the lead.
Oh.
Very loose there for the 35 of Banks again.
Oh, contact with Brochute. It makes you think, is that damage on the right, on the left rear quarter panel of the 35 affecting the handling? It was contact when Lucas Lyons lost connection and packed the 35's bumper in about 4 inches, but I think the 35 is really, really loose, does not have the handling because that bumper cover is pushed in several inches, and it's probably affecting, especially Jeff Wright being on the back bumper, taking even extra air off of the spoiler. And how about Michael Sturgill quietly moved up to second?
Sturgill up 3 spots, Turner up 7. Biggest mover, Casey Lakatos, he's back up into the top 10, running in the 9th position.
Bell as well, right there as well. And right now these guys slipping and sliding. Turner with the lead, and Sturgill, and then Banks finally gets clear. Brochute for 3rd, and Jeff Wright has moved up into 4th. And we're talking about him, is he the dominant car of the day so far? Now, got to go underneath Banks, but it's going to be hard to complete that pass on the bottom.
And that allows the 18 back to the outside. These guys are going to flip-flop like this. The 35 holding on to it.
That should allow Wright to get by no problem. And he does. Right up to 3rd. Brochute's going to have to find a way to get around this 35, although Wright goes to the inside, Banks goes back up to the outside, struggling with the handling of that 35.
Well, we're at that halfway mark, and if you're not familiar with what we like to do here at Saturday Night Racing League, well, this is the week for it. You're going to learn. It's going to be Bring the Noise, brought to you by Harpoon Design. Let's turn it up for a minute and find that volume knob. Around.
Alex Bell just spun. And that's the points that are going around, and the caution's going to come out.
Well, we did have that graphic up on your screen. That was Bring the Noise, and it looks like Alex Bell brought a little too much there into that corner.
Unfortunately. Wow, yeah, he's lost it.
He was struggling. He was all the way back, probably 11th, 12th position.
11th position, yeah. Unfortunately, yeah, just lost it there on the bottom. Now, this is where it gets interesting. That was a 20-lap run. Are we going to see guys bring it down pit lane? This is the caution that can really shake up the strategy of this race. And here comes Turner. Going to look like he's going to the inside and pitting. He's going to stay out. Jeff Wright is going to come in. And like we said, this is where the field gets split. Rona stays out, but the rest of the field coming in. Smith's going to stay out. Yeah, if top 4 stay out, and Jeff Wright talked about being the fastest car of the day, staying out. Now the question is, does anybody take two tires? We see everybody take 4. We got a couple guys coming in, pitting in the backstretch. That's the 46 of Mendez, and then Mahalski, McFadden on the backstretch. But the rest of these cars are going to pit on the front stretch. There's Lakatos into his pit box. There's Brochu, then Banks, Carwell, all peeling off into pit lane. Then Jeff Wright and Jacob Bradley in the top 4, are going to be cars that have stayed out. Anybody daring enough to take 2 tires? Looks like everybody right now taking 4. So we assume Jeff Wright's crew going to give him one heck of a pit stop, get him to the lead, and then Bradley almost beats the 35. But Banks out of pit road, he does. So it goes Wright, Bradley, Banks, then Brochu, then Carwile, Lakatos, Mendez, followed by Klinger, Kostek, Brett Shoemaker, and Kyle Peacock, the top 10 out of pit road. And the top 5 currently have stayed out. So Turner, Sturgill, Ronis, Smith, and Keith Shoemaker, top 5, the cars that have stayed out. And going to be less than 80 to go when we go green.
This race well past halfway, and that means that at this moment right now, you're 4th, 5th position on back. You just came down for what is probably actually 6th position on back. It's probably your final pit stop of the day.
I gotta think it might be. I mean, for those guys, unless we get a 40, 50 lap run, 60 lap run, you're probably gonna bring it in one more time. But right now, you're shooting for Bailey Turner.
My wife's eating ice cream behind me right now.
What kind of ice cream?
It's orange sherbet.
Orange
I
sherbet.
guess it's technically not ice cream.
What would you consider that? Is it like sorbet?
Sorbet? Yeah. I mean, I guess. I don't know by definition right now. I'm kind of
sure.
upset though that I don't have any ice cream.
I'm upset that I don't have any ice cream. You know, I'll tell you what. Cool story. Ice cream truck around my house. And this guy has like a stadium like ice cream machine set up in his house or in his truck, and I got it one time, really cheap. And man, it was absolutely amazing. And I have yet to see him, and I really want to see him soon because
everybody's been
talking about ice cream. Yeah, everybody's been talking about ice cream lately, and now I really want ice cream. So
it's that time of year.
Making me want to crave that again.
Sorry, I apologize for that, but you know what? I'm craving some racing, and so is Bailey Turner onto the loud pedal for another restart.
Oh, trouble! Keith Shoemaker gets turned, and it's going to be big! Half the field going to stack up into turn 1!
Well, they all need some ice cream now.
Yeah, now everybody's going to need ice cream. As half of the field going to get swept up in a big reckoning. I think it all started there with the 31 and the 60 of Keith Shoemaker and the 60 of Jacob Bradley. And the bottom lane doesn't even get going. Bradley takes it 3 wide. Oh, sorry, that was Mendez in the 46 getting caught up in that. And look at everybody else stacking up. Ooh, and Shoemaker gets drilled there. And up and over. I did not see that.
Who was that? Is that the 6 car of Michael Kostek?
I think Kostek.
How did he flip over?
You know, I've seen some wild stuff at Bristol. That one might be pretty wild there. As the 6 car goes, it looks like he ramped off the wall, and then the left rear kind of dug into the track, and it just did a quick little flip. A lot like Austin Cindric's flip from 2018 Daytona. Look at this, gets spun around, gets turned back up the track, gets hit by Cofield, ramps up, gets help from Ortega, and Tony Hawk would be proud of that one. Look at the little kick flip up in the air and lands back on his wheels. And, you know, I tell you what, we got to get on board with Joseph McWhorter in the 73. I don't know how he did. He had probably a heck of a view. Him and Bell really had a nice view of all the chaos ensuing in front of them. Yes, all he sees is smoke. And the seas kind of part for everybody there. Gets all the way to the inside wall. Him and Bell go right on by. And there's the 6 Kostek flipping, going upside down and landing back on all 4s. And man, this race has really taken a turn for a lot of cars getting caught up in a lot of incidents. And right there, 3 cars gonna end in their nights.
We still have 25 cars out on the racetrack. Technically, Bobby Patrica, the last car, it's out on the racing surface. Jerry Bergeron has elected to just stay on pit road. Johnny Rapp also blinks out for the race, and Lucas Lyons back to 22nd position. He's 2 laps down, so he'll be the first car that's not on the lead lap. But, I mean, based off of this race so far, Alec, you've got a handful of drivers that found their way into the top 5. And the tire's been really so important from lap 1. You can tell the track has changed. What kind of dramatic change do you see for this last 50 plus?
Man, I don't know. This is really, really tough, and the cautions have just been breeding cautions, it seems. And right now, if you're Bailey Turner, you're Sturgill, you're Smith, Ronis, you need this race to kind of get a couple laps green. You need to hold on to the track position, but then you need to get 20, 30 laps and a caution to come out to make the tires really matter. And
yeah.
Right now, I don't know.
We've got the 72 of Jonathan Smith. How about that? Up
yeah, what a run for him
spots. Now. He's up into the top 5. About to get this restart back underway. Race recap up on your screen. 7 cautions, 2 lead changes. It's been a tight one here at Bristol. We're back underway for the 8th time tonight.
Boy, Jeff Wright getting pinned down on that bottom. He's going to have a hole up here. He's going to have to take it here quick because Smith and Bradley, and then there's Banks in the side-by-side battle between them. How about Angelo Ronis in the 29 and Michael Sturgill on the inside in the 3 car, almost going to make contact off the 2. But Turner pulls away by 2, 3 car lengths, but Ronis and Banks starting to charge up to the front.
On the back end of the 29 car, he finds himself up into the 2nd position now, and the damaged machine of Joshua Banks trying to follow suit into 3rd. There's Sturgill on the inside, Bradley on the outside, 2x2. Lots of side-by-side racing. That 3 car just pinned down there. He's going to have to make the best of this situation, find a hole to get to that outside line.
He's going to be stuck. He doesn't have the tires, nor does he have the momentum, because that inside line is basically non-existent at the moment. Look at everybody up on the top, except Bailey Turner and Michael Sturgill. Sturgill doesn't have clean air where Bailey Turner does, but that top lane just seems to be rolling much better here, and Sturgill's just getting freight trained by all the guys on the outside.
Yeah, Sturgill can't run that outside on the exit of the corner, and I think that's what's affecting him most versus Bailey Turner, who he can come up on the exit and get a good run off and finally finds a hole. Now the 71 of Ryan Carlisle is going to take it to the inside. Probably not going to do anything with it. He dives it deep. He's going to hold on.
Yeah, now Sturgill's up on the top. Even though the older tires may hurt him, maybe Carlisle can get around him because of the 15 or what was it, 25 lap difference. So yeah, it's not particularly going to be in the preferred line, but he's just kind of struggling right now. And well, Sam Brochu in the 18 car going to go to the inside of his Toyota affiliate and Casey Laconis, and here comes Jeff Wright to the inside of Jacob Bradley. And now Bailey Turner is catching some heat from Angelo Ronis and Joshua Banks as Bradley slams the side of Jeff Wright and almost turns him around. And Banks struggling now, and Wright trying to hold on to the position, just can't do it here on the bottom. Look at this moment from Jacob Bradley in the 60 car. Here as Jeff Wright goes to the inside here and off of turn 4, it got really, really dicey. Is here off turn 4, the 60 car gets loose.
No, they didn't touch.
They slam. I thought I saw him slam. I saw the wiggle there for the 40. I thought they did. Joshua Banks loose. They're 3 wide off of turn 2. Almost contact. Wright gonna hold on. If Banks gets loose again, Bradley clips him, and he almost spins, but he holds on to it. Wow, what a save from Joshua Banks. And how about Sam Brochu in the 18 working his way up?
Oh, no.
Oh, no, Carlisle gets turned, and he clips Sturgill. Sturgill hit onto the outside wall, and a caution comes out again as McWhorter just misses them. And now Michael Sturgill's great night has turned into night over. And the 3 car with heavy damage smoke billowing from that Chevy Camaro and race over. And let's take a look here. Banks have been just getting shuffled, and looks like they're running out of room. Sturgill into Carwile. Carwile comes down, back into him, clips him into the outside wall. And yeah, another caution. I think Bailey Turner's going to bring it down. Oh, everybody's... Nope. Look at this. McCorder thought they were going to go high or low, and then they come high, and then, tell you what, live cut to what's happening. This field has split the strategy once again. Turner leading about the next 15 race cars as Jeff Wright, Sam Brochu, and Edwin Mendez have stayed out on the racetrack, as well as Mark McFadden. But now Turner leads a whole bunch of race cars down the pit road with Angelo Ronas, and then Jacob Bradley, who only ran 22 laps on his Goodyear Eagles, has brought it in as well. So more strategy moves here, and boy, oh boy, is this going to shake up the field once again. That's the thing I love about Bristol, man. The strategies are always pretty insane.
Well, if you're Jeff Wright, you were deep in that field, and that restart with guys that stayed out put you in a situation now trying to take back over control of this race. He led the vast majority of laps in the first half, but ever since we kind of had that shuffle, he hasn't been able to get back to that lead, and Bailey Turner is going to restart in 5th. I think clean air here tonight, Alec, has just been key.
Clean air has been king, and that seems to be the the motto of a lot of racing these days. And right there, you can just tell, man. It just, clean air helps, but how the tire advantage? I think maybe you get Bailey Turner, Jacob Bradley. I think they might have something for right. But I tell you what, man, I've been seeing a lot of pace out of this 18 of Sam Brochu, especially on the long runs. I think Brochu, he might have something for Jeff Wright. It's going to be hard to get by him, but I do think that we've been able to see the 18 car. We saw on one of the longer runs that
I think we saw an 18 car get a. I think we saw an 18 car get a win at Dover. Do we not?
Well, you did see the 18 car get a win at Dover.
Yeah, I think we did.
It wasn't Sam Brochu though.
No, it wasn't.
I know.
Take
that was
over.
Cool. That was cool. I didn't know he took my number.
Funding
That's
that
okay. No, I was in a Chevy that day, but you know, Sam's.
You're in the Dale Yoda, sir.
Of course, you can't not run the Dale Yoda. Come on now. Hey, they don't call me Dale or Correntinas for no reason, brother.
Sent back to go green for the 9th time tonight. Jeff Wright's going to be back up on point as the pace truck will pull off, and he has the 18 of Sam Brochu, Mark McFadden, Edwin Mendez, Bailey Turner, who's led some laps here today. Only 3 lead changes, but we see another one here with the 18 on the inside for the restart.
Wright's going to have the advantage here on the outside, being able to launch. The outside lane just tends to launch better here at Bristol. Although, Brochu, if he can time it right, will have a shot here as into the restart zone they go. Spins the tires. Does it go? And how about Mark McFadden with a good restart here for 3rd? But now they're going to be 3 wide into turn number 3. McFadden stacking up the outside lane, and they're 3 now, 4 wide. Look how it turns McFadden, and it's a big wreck down the backstretch. McFadden, Alex Bell clobbers the 29 of Ronas. And a big wreck down the backstretch. Wallace involved. Smith is involved, and multiple cars pile in as well. McFadden, heavy damage, and a big wreck. I think all looked like started by Casey Lakatis. And Mark McFadden's night going to come to an end as well.
Yeah, 4 wide never works at Bristol.
And Bell nowhere to go. Oh, and Shoemaker came in there as well and clocked the 29. And the points leader, heavy damage. Shoemaker's going to be done. I think even Bell might be done with heavy suspension damage. And just McFadden stacked everybody up. Everybody gets through on the inside. And 4 wide there, Lakatis forces the issue, clips the 29, and just everybody goes around.
A shot of this from the blimp camera.
Yeah, just... Wright gets a good restart. Even McFadden had a really good restart. It's just the older tires. the older tires just kind of stack up here, and Bradley gets all the way up to the outside, and right there, you cannot go 4 wide at Bristol. It's basically
Lacatus was
near
already
impossible.
3. It was pushing the issue.
And honestly, with how much, movement and all that, I mean, if you're Colosseum or you're really loving it, the 15 is probably going to be a couple laps down here because heavy suspension damage on that 15 car.
Well, that sets us up. We're borderline on record cautions here for Saturday night racing. This is kind of out of the ordinary, to be honest with you, but we're sitting on caution number 10, I believe. Number 9, actually.
All right, we're coming up on it. Well, what's the record, 11?
I think it's 12.
12? Well, I hate to tell you, if this keeps persisting, we'll have 17 by the end of this thing. But I don't think we will. I hope not. But if the rate we going on, I hope I'm wrong too.
Well, it's been great so far, and we had a great stint of racing in that first half. Let's see if we can continue on with that and get back to it. Jeff Wright, your leader here from Bristol Motor Speedway in the Saturday Night Racing League. We're going to take another quick commercial break here on V-Speed, and we'll be back right after this.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Just 2 laps after the restart, Jeff Wright has held on to the lead, but Sam Brochu and Bailey Turner, who's on fresher tires, are breathing down his neck as there's trouble off of turn 4. Chad Klinger is around, but no caution, and what a save from the 09, but he's right rear damage.
Happy he saved that, because about 10 more feet and he would have been in the pit wall.
Oh, that right rear is destroyed. That deck lid is disconnected from the right rear quarter panel, and that he may go spinning around it. What a save from the 09, but no caution going to come out here. And Jeff Wright still holds on to this lead. And I was talking about him, Bradley. And I think that 18 has something for Jeff Wright, but man, he is loose off the corners. But Sam Brochu is breathing down Jeff Wright's neck. But right behind Sam Brochu is that 24 Bailey Turner.
Well, and you tell the 24 car there's a chance you can win this race, and he gets a little taste of the lead. He wants it back, riding up here in the top 3. We've seen this week in, week out, even with Jeff Wright not here the past 2 weeks. It's been a battle between the 60 machine, the 24, the 35. You had McWhorter in that mix as well. Car into the wall. They follow each other up there.
And this could be a perfect opportunity for Bailey Turner to get up to second. He's just got to clear the 18. As, oh, we got trouble down the front stretch. Reggie Ortega, heavy damage to the 2. Another caution going to come out, and that's going to take us to double digits at 10. Contact with that Lucas Lyons, and then the 2 of Jonathan Smith gets a piece of it. And Lyons just got back onto the lead lap. And he does have fresh tires, too, so. Oh, the 15 blew up.
Yeah.
And Alex Bell, the points leader's night, is going to come to an end. I think that's what stacked everybody up. And if you're McWhorter and Mahalski, you're loving what you just see. The 15's out of this race.
Well, and I heard the 2 car was on the clutch.
Joshua Banks just took out Casey Lakatos.
What?
Oh, they took each other out on pit road. It's like a Kyle Larson, Kyle Busch, Charlotte situation. Banks was coming out of pit road. Lakatos was trying to pit, and they hit each other, and Lakatos got spun around.
What is happening?
What? Wow. This race is
full of surprises
has
tonight,
flipped on its head. Everything's good, and these 2 are teammates too. I don't think there's any malicious intent. Yeah, I think I was just like, again, if anybody remembers from 2015, when Kyle Larson and Kyle Busch hit each other on the entry of pit road, and I believe it spun the 18 around. Oh no, sorry, it spun the 42 around, which was Kyle Larson at the time, and caused some damage to both of them. But right there, they both stay out and they keep going. So that's wild. As Joseph McWhorter brought it down pit lane. Jonathan Smith, Kyle Peacock, Chad Klinger, Noah Mahalski, Chad Klinger, and Ryan Carlisle, the 15 cars on the lead lap. So 10th on back is going to have fresh Goodyear Racing Eagles and fresh rubber to go. See if they can mount a charge here. And I tell you what, there's only about 16, 17 cars on the racetrack.
You know, we're starting to dwindle it down a little bit. Johnny Rapp, Jonathan Cofield, Michael Kostick, Chuck Sweeting, and Max Cost are behind the wall. Then you have Jerry Bergeron, who's going continuously more laps down. Michael Sturgill, heavy damage. Angelo Horonis has been damaged. Keith Shoemaker, Bryce Shoemaker, both those drivers have damage. McFadden was caught up in a wreck. Reggie Ortega, you just saw, was destroyed. Alex Bell popped the engine. Bobby Petrica would be the first car not on the lead lap, and he's 2 laps down in 16th. A lot of these guys out here, as we're watching Petrica here try to get the field sorted out, a lot of these guys here tonight, their races have been, highlight reel to just behind the wall, all in a couple laps.
Really has been no no calming down from this field, man. It's just been wild racing all night. But now, Jeff Wright, his biggest competitor with fresher tires, is restarting in second. Bailey Turner, who's led a couple laps in this race. Big truck is off, and we're back underway and back racing. Brochu and Turner, the battle for second. Although Brochu is going to have to find a hole quick here off of turn number 2 because Bradley is trying to fill that up. He's got to get up in line. He can't, and might have one more opportunity off of turn 4. He does. He's going to have to slide up. Not going to be able to do it. Here comes Bradley, but look at this. Bailey Turner going for the lead.
Gonna be tough to do. We've seen a couple people try it, but you try to pass the 48 car late in a race on the bottom at Bristol, good luck.
Oh, go against the 48 at your own apparel as here comes Joshua Banks around Brochu, as well as Casey Lakatos, the 18, starting to drop back in fall positions. And how about Joseph McWhorter on those fresh tires? The last car to come in, or the first car to come in that last caution, has fresher tires, and he's worked himself up into 7th as Brochu slides at the racetrack, almost gets into the 50 and the 73. And McWhorter has pace in that 73 car. That car is starting to move. He's got 50 lap fresher tires to Jeff Wright. Don't count out the 73 cars, ladies and gentlemen. He might have a shot at this if we go green.
Smoke on the racetrack there. Not sure where that's coming from.
He's doing this on the bottom, too. Impressive stuff from the 73. And here comes Turner to the inside of right.
He hung with him there on the backstretch. The first time we've actually seen him stay door to door, but not going to be good enough, and he drops back in line. McWhorter working the bottom here on Joshua Banks. This is for the 4th position. Doesn't get the run off. That outside just so much stronger.
Yeah, those tires, though, are really, really working. If he can get to 3rd here, he's got a really good shot here as we're closing up on 35 to go. McWhorter is making that bottom work. The first car we've really seen really make up a lot of time. He's been involved in a couple incidents today with right rear damage. You can see it. He's got battle scars to prove it. Bradley gets loose on the outside, and McWhorter can capitalize here. He's pulled up to Turner.
Now fighting for the 2nd position. 170 laps into the books when they come around this time.
Turner should not have done that because McWhorter's going to get to the outside. Here he comes. McWhorter to 2nd. Can he get the lead from Jeff Wright out of nowhere? The 73 up to 2nd. And now looking to the inside of right for the lead. Joseph McWhorter looking for the lead. Can he get it as the lap car gets out of the way? McWhorter almost cleared by a half a car length. He stretches the nose ahead, and Joseph McWhorter takes the lead at Bristol.
Less than 30 laps to go. And the 73 car, who hasn't been up here all day long, he had to gain 12 spots, takes it away from Jeff Wright.
What a tire strategy. What a pit call for the 73 box. And if this race goes green, I don't see anybody taking it away from him now, as Jeff Wright starting to struggle on pace here because Bailey Turner all over him. Look at this battle for 4th on the racetrack. Banks and Bradley, and then Lakatos right behind them. And Banks almost was going to have the slide job into turn number 1. He will, and he gets the spot away from the 60 of Bradley. The pole sitter has just not had the car in race trim. Lakatos starting to fall back, he's closed up now to the back bumper of Bradley, and the top 6 have pulled away. And how about Lucas Lyons and Jonathan Smith, a couple seconds back from this battle, about a second back from this battle, starting to lose a little bit, although Smith and Klinger, who are on the same strategy as McWhorter, have not been able to make up enough laps, or make up enough spots in the same amount of laps that McWhorter has, and McWhorter has almost opened up to a half a second lead. Tell you what, he's going to be hoping for no caution. A caution comes out, he's in trouble, because I don't know if he has any more sets of tires laying in the pits.
He's in a good spot, though, to win this race if it stays green. And we've seen time and time again here for the 73 team where they've been in position to win and things just not going their way. Maybe here tonight, the last great Colosseum, Joseph McWhorter can find his way to victory lane.
Just might be able to. What great racing we've been seeing all night from the Bristol Motor Speedway, as here comes Banks to the inside of Bailey Turner. We know these two have had their fair share of run-ins together, and now they're battling for the bottom step of the podium, if you so will, as here comes Banks to the inside of Turner. Slightly fresher tires, about 7 laps the difference on tire life here. And look at this, Banks slides up the racetrack side by side with Turner. This is giving Wright a little bit of breathing room. And I'll tell you who it's really giving breathing room to is Joseph McWhorter, who has 20 laps to go now, 19 laps to go for the Bristol Motor Speedway. What great racing we've seen all night, and Banks adding to this is Wright starting to struggle here with the handling of his car.
And Banks might be able to find his way around both these cars as they come off of turn 4.
How tight Bailey's pinching him. I would be shocked if there's not contact soon, unless he can get around both of them. Is Wright really starting to struggle with the handling of that race car? Can Banks get the 2-for-1 special here into turn 1? He got Turner, and now he'll try to work on Wright. Wright backs off the gas, and Joshua Banks takes 2nd. Can he mount a charge to Joseph McWhorter, the short track ace, trying to go back-to-back here at Bristol?
If there's anybody that can do it in this short amount of time, he's going to make up a full 2nd to the 73 car And we're talking about a 20 lap difference almost in tires.
Yeah, about 20 or so, about 16 lap difference on tires between Banks and McWhorter. But has McWhorter pushed his tires too hard? And does Banks have anything within the last 15 laps to mount a charge and gain 1.1 seconds? And again, the famous coin, or the coin phrase in racing, it's one thing to catch them, it is another thing to pass them. And he's got a second. He's gonna have to start taking out about a tenth or about a half a tenth a lap.
We've seen some great racing here between Lucas Lyons, Jonathan Smith. Side by side here out of 3.
It's falling back to these guys too. Smith going to be on that middle to inside lane. It's just going to be so hard to complete the pass. The tire difference is going to matter, but man, the aerodynamic disadvantage you're at when you're below somebody just doesn't really work as Lyons gets loose on the outside. Smith going to have to send it, but he's going to get tight underneath of him. Almost gets to the left rear quarter panel of Lyons, and Smith fighting hard on the inside, going to drift up the racetrack again. They might have to use him up if he wants to get by. 10 laps to go on the board, and Lyons loses one more bit of inches there, and now Smith will be able to clear down the backstretch. And he does. Smith gets by Lyons, and at the front, McWhorter, 1.1 second lead over Joshua Banks. A caution would change this race once again as Bright has kind of worked himself away from the 24 of Bailey Turner, and Jacob Bradley is closing up on 4th here on Bailey Turner. And Klinger with fresher tires running these guys down as well.
You see the side-by-side here just inside the top 5. For the 4th position, Jacob Bradley keeps peeking it to the inside. 7 laps to go. McWhorter has checked out 1.5 seconds now.
And what a win for him. We saw him miss that one wreck, that big wreck on the front stretch when we saw the 6 of Kostek go upside down. He was able to miss that wreck. And that tire strategy, we haven't mentioned him all night. And that tire strategy that he was able to take, as you see Bradley gets up into the wall, but that tire strategy that he just pitted, that last caution might just be the difference in him getting a win here tonight and taking that points lead, because we saw Alex Bell, who blew an inch in earlier, who's leading the point standings, out of the race, and if he's lucky, he's going to finish about 23rd on the racetrack. So right now, Alex Bell is going to lose valuable points, especially if the 73 of McWhorter is able to hold on with 5 laps to go. And here comes Klinger underneath Bradley and Turner.
How about Chad Klinger? We weren't really talking about him a moment ago.
Get away here.
Going to use this as a pick. 3 wide.
Oh, it's going to get tight here off Ford, and they clear him fine. But, man, the tire advantage that Klinger has is going to get him up to 4th. He might be... he's kind of too far back to get up to right, but he would have a chance if he was able to get clear here. As Klinger goes up to 4th. And 2 seconds the gap between 2nd and 1st. Joseph McWhorter coming by to now see 2 laps to go. Popsicle sticks up in the air for Joseph McWhorter here at Bristol. And Bradley, out of nowhere, he was able to capitalize, get tires. He started 13th. And once he took the lead with about 30 laps to go, he hasn't looked back. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go from the last great Colosseum. The race is official. Joseph McWhorter, a half a lap to go from the Bristol Motor Speedway, out of nowhere on a separate alternate tire strategy. Comes out of nowhere from 13th and steals the win as McWhorter wins at Bristol. And what a win for Joseph McWhorter. Out of nowhere, car destroyed on the back bumper. And McWhorter gets another win on the season. Banks comes home 2nd. And Jeff Wright holds on to 3rd. Bradley, what a call. What a pit call.
Adapting and overcome the adversity of this race and all the things that you had to think about. I'd like to know who was on top of that box, if it was just all Joseph here tonight, or if he had somebody make that call for him. Oh.
Malski gets her known there. That was a championship kind of decision there that can. What a pit strategy, man, from the 73 and McWhorter. And like we said, we hadn't really talked about him all night until he came into pit road, got the fresh tires, and was able to come up through the field quick, get the lead. And once he got the lead, he never looked back. And what a win for Joseph McWhorter. And we'll stick around for post-race interviews. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break to talk to your winner, second, and third. Stick around, and we'll be right back here from Bristol.
Drivers, start your printers.
To keep pace with the ever-changing landscape of marketing and advertising, let Clark Print Shop help you spot the trends and keep you in front of the pack with all your color printing needs. From business cards to invitations, menus to mugs, we can print anything you need on paper or your choice of over 3,000 promotional items. Visit www.clarkprintshop.com to browse our online catalog and place your order today, or call us at 276-889-3426. For a limited time, use the code iRacing for 23% off your first purchase. The staff at Clark Print Shop looks forward to handling all your color printing needs.
In the heartland of our country, something magical is happening. At Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes, we know the power of community, of hands coming together to create wonders. These costumes are symbols of love, compassion, and inclusion. Your hands can craft dreams. Join us at Walkin' and Rollin' Costumes build events and be a part of something extraordinary.
Introducing Tractor USA, the best way to buy and sell premium ag and construction equipment. Tractor USA was designed to be straightforward, simple, and affordable with zero commission and live auctions every week. Tractor USA auctions offer the finest selection of pre-owned tractors, combines, and other ag and construction equipment from across the United States and the world. Simply go to tractorusa.com to get started today.
Back here live from Bristol Motor Speedway. Saturday Night Racing League has concluded its 200-lap, 100-mile race for race number 9 at the last great Colosseum. And we had several lead changes here tonight, but a surprise victory, and Joseph McWhorter comes out on top here tonight, Alec.
Yes, what a just outstanding pit call there at the end to get himself in position to come and win this race. Absolutely amazing. For 10 cautions, 4 lead changes in McWhorter, 13th to the win here, over 2.2 seconds over second place Joshua Banks. Jeff Wright comes home in third after leading the most laps here today. Chad Klinger comes home fourth. Bailey Turner comes home fifth. The pole sitter Jacob Bradley in sixth. Casey Lacatis, my apologies, comes home seventh. Jonathan Smith in eighth. How about Brandon Wallace coming home with the top 10 in ninth? And Lucas Lyons holds on for a top 10.
Yeah, how about that with Brandon Wallace? It was another car we didn't mention much here tonight with that 99. That's an accomplishment. 11th position is going to go to Edwin Mendez. Noah Mahalski is going to finish 12th. Kyle Peacock in 13th. Bobby Patrica is going to finish 14th. Keith Shoemaker, Mark McFadden, Sam Brochu, Ryan Carlisle, Bryce Shoemaker, and our points leader coming into tonight, unfortunately, with a popped engine, back to 20th.
Yeah, unfortunately, an unfortunate night for him, and an unfortunate night for the rest of this drivers list. Reggie Ortega, 21st. Angelo Ronis, 22nd. Michael Sturgill in 23rd. Gary Bergeron, 24th. Johnny Rapp, 25th. Jonathan Cofield comes home 26th. The car that went upside down, Michael Kostek, comes home 27th. Chuck Sweeting, 28th. Max Koss, 29th. Brian Hennings in his 30th. And 35th was Carson Marenka. And I don't believe those two started the race here tonight. But, man, what a race we had, and what a race Jeff Wright had. And we'll come down to pit road here. And Jeff Wright, Jeff Wright. You come home third, buddy. You got a copy?
I got you, Alec.
Well, man, you stayed out with the oldest tires in the field with 86 laps. You lose a couple spots there to Banks and McWhorter. How were those final 80 laps trying to hold on?
Yeah, man, we were trying to hold on for dear life. I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, but through the center part of that race, we just kept getting those frequent yellows. And so I think, if we would have, continued to had that, maybe I would have been able to hang on. But man, when Joseph and Joshua came by, there was nothing we could do to even hold them up. They were just so much faster with those fresh tires. So, yeah, P3 is great though. Coming back after missing 2 weeks, we took a bit of a drop in the points. So having a good run like this is awesome to try to point our ways back up there and try to get back in contention for that regular season championship.
Yeah, and I want to ask you, Alex Bell did not have a good night here tonight. Obviously, Joseph with the win is going to pull away from you just a little bit. But I believe you're going to move up at least into second in points. How do you feel about these final 4 races at Pocono, Milwaukee, and I believe a couple other racetracks, all different, I believe, as well. Sorry, Pocono, Kansas, Milwaukee, Iowa, and Old Atlanta. How do you feel about attacking those racetracks? Do you think it's possible you can get to the points lead and win that regular season championship?
We're going to try. Like you said, there's a variety of tracks there, a lot of different. We got some short tracks, some intermediates. Pocono is an animal of its own. And I think, Alec, you're going to be in attendance there behind behind the wheel, driving a car there. Can we confirm this?
Yeah, I can't confirm that. Unless something crazy happens, I believe I will be here.
Okay, well, it'll be great
Pocono.
to see
Maybe,
you.
I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, well, I mean, if you are, it'll be great to see you behind the wheel. I know you'll be a threat to win there. You're really good at Pocono. But, yeah, Pocono's not been a great track for me in the past. But, yeah, I mean, we're going to go out there and see what we can do. Obviously, we got some tracks I do like Iowa, Atlanta. But, we got a lot of good guys in here, that are going to be tough to beat every single week. So I'd like to try to get another win maybe before this regular season is done with so we can get, 3 more bonus points. But it's certainly going to be tough with the amount of, really good drivers we got in here. And, yeah, big congrats to Joseph tonight. He made a great call, him and his spotter, Brentley Roden. So those guys definitely earned it. For a while, I thought maybe Banks was going to go back-to-back at Bristol, but looks like Joseph had enough just to hold him off. He did a really good job, and also just big shout-out to Joseph, too. He's a really big supporter of our league, so you can't be too disappointed seeing a guy like that win.
Yeah, he did an awesome job tonight with that pit call. Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Is there anybody you want to give a shout-out to here for this run?
Yeah, big thanks to the sponsors, Harpoon Design, Track to USA, Clark Print Shop, Walk and Roll and Costumes for everything that they do financially for us to help us put these events on. Broadcast team, as always, you and Bradley Cooper up in the booth. And Alec, thanks for stepping in for Connor tonight, who couldn't be here. It's always great to have somebody to rely on, that can be here and call a great race alongside Bradley. So we appreciate you guys.
Well, we appreciate you too, Jeff. Well, you have a great night, and we'll hopefully see you out next week out in Pocono, Pennsylvania.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Alec.
Good night, Jeff. And I'll walk down a little bit here to pit road to second place finisher Joshua Banks. And there we go. Get Joshua Banks. Joshua Banks, you got a copy, buddy?
I got you, buddy.
Well, man, you had a strong race, had some ups and downs on the way, but you come home second there. Were you hoping for that caution to come out if you had something for Joseph there at the end?
Honestly, the way the race has been going, I'd rather have just run that thing out. I wish I had pitted that same stint he did, because that was the call to make. And I was debating it where I was at, but I was like, this track position's hard to get, and I liked where I was at. So I wish it could have come out. Maybe it would have had a chance. Everybody paid good tires, but then there would have been takers who would stayed out. So they would have been in that basket again, where who knows what would have happened. So just glad to come out here second with the up and downs that we had tonight. I mean, it was all over the place. One of the craziest Bristol races I've done, where we had to go to the back, to the front, get damage fixed, and all that kind of thing. But luckily, we come out second, which is pretty cool.
Yes, it was. And I want to now shift your focus on to next week at Pocono and this final kind of push of 5 races to the regular season championship. How do you feel about your situation in the points and kind of setting yourself up to get good seating for the playoffs?
I've not had opportunities before to, be this close up in the points, especially racing against Jeff and guys who are up in the top in points. It's always been something going on through a season. Either I'm just not doing great, or miscues or things happening during a race that puts me really low in the points to try to make up. So I'm happy where I'm at. I'm glad to finish second here to gain a little bit on Jeff here, because I know he just finished behind me. I know it ain't gonna be much, but Um, but it's cool. I'm glad to be up here near the top 5 in points right now. We just keep this momentum going. I mean, we were doing really good this season, and I'm really happy how the race has been turning around, and getting good finishes and able to face the adversity and make it through these mistakes and whatever, and come back and still finish in the top 5. It's cool. It's fun. I just hope that we can continue it forward through the rest of the season and even in through the playoffs.
Absolutely, man. Well, you had a great run tonight. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to here before we send you back to celebrate P2?
Well, obviously, the sponsor in the car, AB Motorsports, getting them out there. Antron Brown. He obviously he's a drag racing team, but still, we like to, being the Matco Tools distributor, he represents us. So do the favor and return and represent him and his team while we're racing laps around each race. And shout out to them, to the team, and then of course you guys up in the booth for doing an awesome job with the broadcast. I know probably it was fun to watch. It's entertaining, especially near the end there, and hope you enjoyed that. And then obviously the admins and everybody doing a good job with the league. We're still putting a good crowd here with 30 plus cars, and it's awesome to see. So keep it up to them. Looking forward to the rest of the season and seeing how things turn out.
Absolutely, man. Well, we appreciate your time up here again. Congratulations on the second place finish, and hopefully we'll be seeing you out next week in Pocono.
All right, buddy. It's a good track for me. I love that track. So look out for me there too.
Yes, it should be fun. Well, we'll see you next week. Have a good night, brother.
All right, you too.
Joshua Banks, second place finish here, and I believe Bradley has made it up to the top of the media center to where the winner, Joseph McWhorter, is standing with him.
Yes, I do. I have Joseph McWhorter, winner here tonight, and kind of a, well, first off, we gotta thank the guy up in the box that made that call and that tire strategy that put this 73 car on point for the last remaining 20 laps. How about it, Joseph McWhorter? You're victorious tonight.
Yeah, that was man, that's awesome. Brantley made it a point that I wasn't getting tires until after lap 150, so we fixed the car, and man, what a comeback. Man, what a frustrating season. I hope that gives me the points lead, but man, what a weekend, man. I went and bought my race car yesterday, and really excited to get that going here in the next couple weeks. Hopefully, I think we're going to finish out the iRacing season and get going on the real life season. So, and then to come out here and win. I mean, it feels really good. I mean, we came back from 3.5 minutes of damage to come back and do that. It feels really good.
Well, the frustration didn't really sink in at this track until probably around the halfway point. You guys kind of started plaguing the race with cautions, and it was no particular fault of anyone. It just seemed like the track started to fall apart.
It really did. The setup was just not great. I mean, the rear end was all kinds of all over the place. It was underneath you 1 second. It was trying to snap out from underneath you. It was real questionable. It wasn't comfortable at all. Like, that car was terrible. And that's what I seen. A lot of guys were making mistakes and maybe getting a little bit too aggressive on the restarts and stuff. And yeah, we just had to play it smart. We had to miss a lot of cautions or a lot of wrecks tonight and keep the car together so that way we can continue to fix it. And we did that. We didn't ever get up. I didn't even get mad whenever the wreck happened between me and Chad. I mean, it was just one of those deals where nothing could happen. I mean, he just got loose in front of me and I was already right behind him. And, it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just one of those accidents where you're so tight on top of each other at this racetrack that if you make the slightest mistake, you're gonna get hit. I mean, it was just one of those deals. So, I mean, I'm so glad that we stayed after it and didn't give up and got the car back together and was able to pull that off.
So talk about the confidence coming into this race, and then you get kind of shot down there with Chad getting loose in front of you, and then you rebound. How tough is it as a driver to keep your head down and keep plowing?
It's really tough. I mean, you ask Brantley, and I'm not very good at keeping my mouth shut whenever I'm frustrated or anything. I kind of talk, I kind of think out loud a little bit too much sometimes, and it's a little hard, but Brantley also doesn't put up with my crap, so he kind of tells me to shut up and drive the damn car. So that's the biggest thing, is just having somebody, whether it be Roger or Daryl or Brantley, whoever's spotting me during the night, is just, hey, focus, get your head in the game, drive the damn car, do your job.
because I need that sometimes, or else I'll eat myself a little bit. But I've also been trying to just have a better outlook in this season and trying to help that a little bit and trying to be better and not overreacting whenever a bad situation happens, like with that accident with me in the '09. Like, instead of getting mad, I apologize. Like, look, this is my fault. I told Brantley, I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, you ain't got to apologize to me. Just fix it. Let's go. So, yeah, I mean, that's the biggest thing is to get your head into it is just having somebody there on the pit box or in your team that can get you focused.
Well, the recovery here tonight, you come back from being outside the top 10 several times tonight. Started in 13th. You led the last 29 laps of this race. Joseph McWhorter, is there anybody, and I know one, that you're going to shout out here for this post-race?
Yeah, absolutely. Harpoondesign.com, first and foremost. I know that's the one you're thinking of. Brantley does an awesome job with the paints, does an awesome job as a crew chief for Mark if he's here, or me. So really a big shout out to him, especially tonight. I mean, he called us through several wrecks tonight and we missed him. I mean, he did an awesome job. He was on it. So big shout out to them. Go check them out at harpoondesign.com or check them out on Trading Paints. They had, I think he's got almost or right at 2,000 paint schemes on there to go look at. So a little bit of everything. RedCamelRacing.com. Go check them out. Whether it be fire suits or work or fire retardant workwear, they have everything you need: helmets, shoes, gloves, everything. Got to try out a new set of gloves tonight, karting gloves to use for my sim rig instead of my fireproof ones. They're really nice. The new grips and everything are really cool. So big shout out to them. Reaper Speed Labs, go check them out at reaperspeedlabs.com. Awesome setups. Those guys are constantly winning all kinds of stuff. You guys for putting on an awesome broadcast each and every week. You guys do some of the best job out here, and I'm glad to be a part of your guys' broadcast every week. I mean, this league's put on some amazing racing this season. I don't know what you guys think, but it's been amazing this season. The admins for all the hard work, all the drivers for, I mean, it was a little caution heavy, but not every race that we've had, I mean, we've had so many races this season go flag to flag. So you got to have one. And ready to get to Pocono. I really like that track, and hopefully we can go get number 2.
Well, Joseph, congratulations, and I think this does officially cap you into the points lead, so congrats on that as well. And we look forward to the remaining races here just before we hit chase time. We got about, 4 left, I think, after Pocono. So good luck out there, and we appreciate your time, man.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I'm really looking forward to next week, and it's a really good track for me. So hopefully you'll be seeing that 73 up front again.
Well, hopefully so. And we get to thank Harpoon Design for sponsoring the league as well. And we will sign off for you. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joseph McWhorter, winner of the race here tonight at Bristol, week number 9. And it was a great one. Alec Martinez, I'd like to thank you personally for filling in here tonight for Connor Horn and what we did here tonight. It was an action-packed race, but ultimately, they said it in the chat. Guy's going crazy. He does what he does. I just let him cook. He's BTDY. If you'd like to catch more of Alec Martinez, it's another good place on Tuesday nights as well.
Well, I appreciate it, brother. Appreciate you having me up here, man. It's been really fun. Appreciate you having me again, and everybody here at Saturday night having me broadcast here tonight. It was a great time, great show, and again, congratulations to Joseph McWhorter, man. It was an awesome race, and man, looking forward to hopefully being here next week at Pocono.
So there's schedule up on your screen for that next race, and then we take a little off week there on the 30th in the weekend, and just before April, we'll go into Kansas. And so far, it's been a great one. Would like to thank you for your time here tonight on tonight's broadcast at V-Speed and the Saturday Night Racing League. If you enjoyed tonight's broadcast, we're almost at 1,000. You could be one of those lucky final 20 people to bring us over that mark. We would be super thankful for that. You don't know how much it means to us. But for everybody at V-Speed that was a part of this, Adam Baker that does the graphics in the background, Alec Martinez for being part of this broadcast, filling in for Connor Horn. Our other 3 producers, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, and Christian Hill, Alex Gagnon. We got a new one up there. I had the name. I believe it's Logan Threlkeld is our newest broadcaster and commentator up in the booth. And for everybody else, this is Bradley Cooper telling you to have a great rest of your weekend. We'll see you next week at Pocono.
2 to go. Is anybody going to try to maybe make a third one?
This race still very undecided.
The bottom lane just doesn't have enough cars now. The rules have been reversed.
They're running out of time and they know it.
How about Noah Colosseum in 03? He did his hand in this battle. The bottom surges to the inside. Now pulls even with Hutton off the turn number 2.
900 horsepower at their feet.
Banks doesn't have a push. Hutton, can he do it off of turn 4? Right, giving him another push. They stack him to the outside. At the line, checkered flag. Banks surges to the bottom.
And here comes Milo, big run out of 4. He's going to be there.
Tristan Martin's there. Cannot count out to 37.
Oh!
No, gets burned!
Cabot, where did he come from?
Here
comes Zwack.
A punch from the 33.
It's a drag